Robert Nozick is a political libertarian who worked at Harvard with Rawls. And in his book, Anarchy, State, and Utopia, he makes an objection to Rawls's conception of justice. Nozick's objection is that the difference principle, in particular taxing to promote equality of opportunity, involves an illicit transfer of wealth. It's not much different from stealing. So you can see in the case of regular stealing, the bicycle thief is trying to make off with that woman's bicycle. Government stealing is taxation, according to Nozick. The only just state is a minimal night watchman state. The night watchman protects from outside intruders, and he catches and punishes thieves, but he does not redistribute citizens' wealth or property to get equality of opportunity. So justice for Nozick does not involve promoting equality of opportunity.
What argument could he give for this defense of what he calls the minimal or night watchman state? Well, his argument is this, in large part. Its argument is typically ingenious and complex, but I think the main thrust of it comes to this. He asks us to distinguish between two kinds of theories about what he calls justice in distribution. We each have certain things in society which we own, and the question is that distribution just? Now, says Nozick, one theory is what he calls a historical theory, and that says this: the present holdings are just. What you own, you justly own, provided people gave it to you voluntarily, either as a gift or in return for what you did for them. If, however, it was taken away from anyone else, by taxation, for example, and then given to you, the holding is not just. This, of course, makes holdings, this, of course, would tolerate the most inequitable distribution you can imagine. The second kind of theory, says Nozick, of justice, doesn't appeal just to history as his does, who gave who to what, but rather offers some general pattern and says, let us look at how the thing ended up. The simplest form of a patterned theory, as Nozick calls them, is an egalitarian theory. Unless things ended up equal, it's wrong, even if it was all done voluntarily. Now, Nozick says only a patterned theory could oppose his view of the limited power of the state. Because if the state is going to intervene to take money away from some and give it to others, it must be in pursuit of a pattern. Nozick, therefore, wishes to argue that any patterned theory is intolerable. And his argument goes like this. He says, suppose you could collect all the holdings, sweep up everyone's wealth, and distribute it all according to your favorite pattern. Suppose you're an egalitarian, you distribute the same amount to everyone. Now, you turn your back, and people are going to begin trading with one another. Suppose, he says, he uses here the name of a very famous American basketball player called Wilt Chamberlain. He said, suppose Wilt Chamberlain plays basketball extremely well, which he does, and people wish to pay money. He doesn't wish to play basketball, but people give him money, ask him to play basketball. He's going to end up with more money than anybody else. In order to stop that, you are going to have to interfere with liberty to a constant degree. To stop these transactions, stop people from doing what they wish to do, you're going to have a dictatorship. You will not preserve a pattern of justice, if that's what you want, without the most serious inroads on people's freedom. Therefore, you can't have a pattern theory of justice. Therefore, the only tolerable state is his state, namely the night watchman or minimal state.